We believe that a word once spoken is gone forever. We think of it as mere air, a vibration that fades into nothing. We speak in haste. We leave promises unfulfilled. We swallow the "I love you" or the "I am sorry" until it is too late. We build our lives on a foundation of these silences, believing the unspoken words have vanished. But what if they don't? What if every word spoken with true intent, every secret kept until it ached, every final goodbye that was never given the chance to be heard? What if it all goes somewhere? What if these lost, forgotten fragments of our souls drift on the wind, looking for a place to rest? There is a legend, old as the stones themselves, of a place that catches them. A place hidden from all maps, nestled behind a high, crumbling wall of ancient weeping stone. It is not a place of grand design. It is a wild, overgrown, and melancholy place. They call it the Hortus Murmuri, the Garden of Whispers. It is said the garden is not tended by human hands. It is tended by the wind. And the wind, as it passes through the cracked stone and the clinging ivy, does not howl. It speaks. It whispers the echoes of the past. It is a library of all the words that were lost. From the outside, it is silent. But the legends say that if you are quiet enough, if your own soul is loud with a question, you can hear it. A chorus, a symphony of a million different voices, all speaking at once, yet none of them loud enough to be understood. It is the sound of humanity's unsaid truths. The garden itself is a place of beautiful, tragic decay. The flowers that grow there are unique. They are fed by the whispers. Pale, luminescent mosses, the color of moonlight, feed on words of peace and acceptance. But deeper in, the flowers are different. There are blooms the color of a deep, bruised purple, which thrive on old regrets. There are thorny vines, sharp and black, that twist around the statues of forgotten saints, feeding on whispers of jealousy and unspoken anger. The air smells not of perfume, but of damp earth, old stone, and the faintest metallic tang of memory. The legends warn that the garden is not a sanctuary. It is a lure. The whispers are seductive. To hear a father's lost advice, a lover's final secret, it is a powerful call. But the garden demands a price. To hear the voices, you must be truly silent. And in that silence, you can become lost. They say there are statues in that garden that were not carved by any sculptor. They are the lost listeners, men and women who wandered in seeking one specific voice, but were mesmerized by the chorus. They sat among the flowers just to listen for a moment more. And that moment stretched into eternity. The moss and the ivy claimed them, and they became a part of the garden's sad, silent audience, forever listening to a past that does not belong to them. There was a woman named Cora. She was a restorer of old books. Her hands were gentle, patient, her job to save stories that were fading, but she could not save her own. She had a brother, Finn. He was her opposite. He was a man of the sea, loud, full of sudden storms and bright, blinding sunlight. He was her anchor. One morning, he was leaving for a long, dangerous voyage. He was late. He grabbed his compass, his charts. He kissed her cheek in a hurry. He paused at the door, his eyes suddenly serious. "Cora," he said, "if I don't return, the house, the secret, it's..." His captain called his name. He gave her a look of frustration. "I'll tell you when I return. It's too long to explain." He ran down the path. He never returned. His ship was taken by a storm that had no name. Cora was left, not just with grief, but with the agony of an unfinished sentence. The secret. It's in the where? His words haunted her. She searched their ancestral home. She tore up floorboards. She checked every book. She found nothing. The house was just a house. The silence was just silence. Her grief was a locked room, and Finn had died with the only key. She became a lost listener in her own life, hollowed out by a whisper she couldn't hear. She spent years researching, using her skills to sift through old, forgotten texts until she found it. The location of the Hortus Murmuri. She found the wall, high and covered in weeping ivy, just as the legend said. The wind was still. The world was holding its breath. She found the small, iron-wrought gate, unlocked, covered in rust the color of old blood. She pushed it open. The sound of the creaking hinge was the last sound she heard from the outside world. She stepped in. The silence was immediate. It was not empty. It was full. It was a heavy velvet blanket of 1,000,000,000,000 whispers, all merging into a sound like the rushing of a distant, spectral sea. Shh. It was beautiful. She walked on a path of soft, white gravel. Pale, glowing moss pulsed with a gentle light. She could almost hear the words. She passed a cluster of the deep purple flowers, and a wave of profound ancient sadness washed over her. A man's voice, cracking with age. If only I had told her. A woman's sob. It was me. It was always me. The whispers were seductive. They were fragments of lives, of tragedies and joys. The gold is buried by the oak tree. He is not your son. I forgive you. Cora was transfixed. She was a restorer of stories, and this was the greatest library in the world. She walked deeper, following a particularly clear whisper, a young girl's voice. I saw it. In the locket. Cora wanted to know what she saw. She strayed from the path. She pushed aside thick, flowering vines. She found herself in a small clearing. In the center was a stone bench, and on the bench sat a woman, carved of stone. Or was it stone? Her clothes were of a forgotten fashion. Her face was tilted, her expression one of rapt, peaceful attention. And all over her, the moss and the purple flowers had grown, claiming her, holding her. She was a lost listener. Cora recoiled in horror. This was the trap. This was the eternity of listening. She realized the garden was a test. You could not find your own echo by chasing all the others. The noise was the distraction. She had to find the silence. She closed her eyes. She forced herself to breathe. She stood in the center of the garden and did not listen to the chorus. She listened to the pauses between the words. She listened to the ancient, quiet heart of the garden itself. She let the million voices wash over her, not into her. She made her mind a still, clear pool, waiting for one specific stone to be dropped. Finn, she whispered. Her own voice was a tiny, sharp sound in the vast library. Finn, I am here. Tell me. She waited. The chorus of whispers seemed to swell, as if to pull her back in. The scent of the purple flowers was thick, trying to drown her in regret. She held her ground. And then, she heard it. It was not loud. It was not a ghost. It was just an echo. His voice. Young, rushed, smelling of salt in the sea. It was the fragment of his unfinished sentence. It's in the anchor. Not the ships. The one in the garden. The one we thought was just a stone. Cora's eyes snapped open. The anchor. The old, half-buried, rusted thing in their garden they used as a doorstop. The thing their father had salvaged. It wasn't a secret in the house. It was a secret at the house. A wave of pure, clean gratitude washed over her. The garden had given her the key. She turned. She did not run. She walked, her eyes now focused, back down the white gravel path. The whispers still called to her. I'm sorry. I love you. But they had no power over her now. She had her own story to finish. She pushed open the iron gate. The sound of the real world rushed back in. The wind, the sea, a bird. It was loud. It was chaotic. It was life. We are all gardens of forgotten voices. Every kind word we speak is a white, glowing flower. Every sharp, cruel word is a thorn. Every unspoken truth is a statue, waiting to be overgrown by the moss of time. Our soul is this garden, and we must be so very careful what we plant there. Because the whispers, they never truly fade. They are just waiting for someone to come and listen.